From Central Clemson, South Carolina, small town. People know the university, but people don't know that it's actually a city as well. We used to watch the Carolina Panthers. Steve Smith, he was my favorite receiver growing up.
You don't think I'm one of the best? You better check your reference.
I imitate my game after him. His attitude, his presence on the field. You know, he's not the biggest, he's not the fastest, but the guy, he's going to make those tough contested catches, and he's going to give you all he got. Still to this day, my favorite receiver of all time.
He's got it! Touchdown, Carolina!
Man, just watching Marcus Allen just gallop.
Marcus Allen has just claimed full title of All-World.
Just growing up in L.A., just seeing who he was, and just the way he would run and how he would stride. It was the coolest thing ever. A lot of people don't realize I played defense my whole life until my sophomore year in high school. That's when I first started playing running back. Ed Reed was my idol growing up.
It's about football! Let's play!
Ed Reed, he was fun, man, and I just love his swagger.
And it is intercepted by Ed Reed.
The things he did when he had the ball in his hands, that was something that, you know, I looked up to and modeled my game out there.
Best safety in the NFL, man, right here.
My favorite player was my older brother. But in NFL history, you know, I was a Ronnie Lott fan.
Looks right, throws left, intended for Ingram.
Ronnie Lott.
He was the woo hitter of all time. Meaning when he hit somebody, you hear the whole crowd go, ooh.
Oh, is he crushed? And you know that's a Ronnie Lott tackle when you hear him all the way to the top row.
The heart, determination, grit, his leadership. The man cut his finger off. Ronnie was my guy.
Believe it!
I lived in Washington, D.C. My dad had just got transferred from Albuquerque, New Mexico when I was about 4 or 5. All of a sudden, I'm sitting there looking at all these guys that became, you know, amazing people to me. Charlie Taylor. That's why I wore 42, because of Charlie Taylor. Pat Fisher. Heck, man, that dude's 5'7". He's shutting down Harold Carmichael. I used to tell myself, hey, man, if I could play as hard as Pat Fisher, you can be somebody.
Hey, we're good, guys. We always do it. We'll be all right.
My high school coach was a big fan of Tebow, so I just kind of started watching him.
Tebow escapes and he can run. Tebow 15, inside the 10, inside the 5. Are you kidding?
I just fell in love with just the way he carried himself, the way he played, the passion.
There's only one person that carries the ball right here.
And then he was a man of God, so that even brought me a little closer to him. And I just wanted to be just like him.
Go!
And we were winning a lot of games and everything. It just brought so much attention.
Tebow's gonna run to the 5, and Denver's got a touchdown.
It was crazy in Denver. It's like they worshiped him. It helped out a lot of kids because back in that time, McDonald's had a thing that every time the Broncos win, you get a free Big Mac. Well, you know, kids growing up, when you don't have the money inside like that, you know, you're banking on that. So they were winning, and they was winning consecutively, so we was getting free Big Macs every week.
If you would have written this script, you wouldn't have believed it.
I thank Tim Tebow for that. Tim Tebow's the man. He was the man when he was here.
I remember, absolutely.
Emmitt Smith was my favorite player. You had a lot of guys that had a wow play once a game, but every Emmitt Smith run was a good run.
Emmitt Smith has done it again.
Now, when you think about Emmitt, you don't think about one. You think about every time he touched the ball, he was going to help his team win.
Tackled, but breaks away to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown, Emmitt Smith.
My very first touchdown was scored on a naval base, on the same football field Roger Staubach played on.
He was in the Navy, and my hometown of Pensacola was where the naval base was stationed. And he actually played an exhibition game down at the base, and so, you know, Roger was there.
He was focused. He was committed. He was determined. He was awesome. He was legendary.
I was from Cincinnati, Ohio, so I really fell in love with the Cleveland Browns with Otto Graham.
Otto the Great is in magnificent form today.
Otto Graham was my guy. He had some great teammates on those Cleveland Browns back in the old days, but Otto was the one that made it all tick and made it all work, and he just made big plays after big plays.
I know what to do with this.
When they were in trouble, Otto would figure out a way to pull it out.
My two favorite players were Roger Staubach and Archie Manning. It's what hooked me from as far back as I can remember. I've wanted to be those two guys. I had kind of developed this mindset that I was going to run around and scramble to the last second and make a last-second throw, just like he had done.
Packers down by 3. Favre, with daylight and time, goes for the whole thing. Touchdown!
I think you're Bill's favorite ever, as you know, and he's told you that.
I said, no, he's mine.
Every time I've had a chance to see Roger, I'm brought back to those memories of being a kid. He was my idol. He was the guy who I wanted to be. And the same could be said for Archie, and I tell Archie the same thing when I see him as well.
Brett Favre was my favorite player to watch. I'm 14 years old, and he's winning MVPs, and he's running around and throwing fastballs everywhere and just making unbelievable plays.
Flips it into the end zone.
It seemed like he was just having so much fun playing football.
You know, I used to love watching Brett Favre when it was snowing outside, and he was out there just slinging the ball around.
Packers into the lead.
I had this passion for throwing the ball, that's for sure.
Watching Brett Favre was a lot of fun because I grew up kind of playing in the backyard, you know, which he kind of took to the NFL field.
What a play by Brett Favre.
Being in Wisconsin, Brett Favre, that was probably what drew me to watching professional football. I think you probably have 1,000 people in here say that. When I grew up, the Packers weren't very good. And then young Brett Favre comes in, creating these incredible plays that you just wanted to watch.
It is going to be a touchdown to Andre Rison.
When you're a fan, you get to watch him grow up, and it's almost like you know these people. That's what makes football amazing. People believe in you, they root for you, and before long, you almost know those people, you feel like.